There comes a point in life when we realize that constantly being available for others, emotionally, physically, mentally, leaves us empty, drained, and invisible to ourselves. True strength isn't about saying yes to everyone. It's about honoring your boundaries, protecting your peace, and valuing your worth. Today, I want to share 9 key truths that will help you step into that power. So many of us grew up believing that being constantly available is the ultimate expression of love. We think if I answer every call, if I show up every time someone needs me, if I drop everything to fix their problems, then I'm proving my love, my loyalty, my worth. But here's the truth. Constant availability is not love. It's depletion. Love is not measured by how exhausted you are at the end of the day. Love is not about sacrificing your peace just to make sure everyone else feels comfortable. When you are always available, people stop recognizing the weight of your effort. What once felt like generosity turns into expectation. What once felt like kindness starts to feel like obligation. And slowly, without realizing it, you begin to disappear in the lives you're showing up for. They no longer see the gift of your presence. They see it as your duty. They stop saying thank you because they assume you'll always be there. And that is the danger. Your sacrifice becomes invisible. Being constantly available empties you out, one yes at a time. You start saying yes even when your body is screaming no. You smile when inside you feel drained. You give advice when your soul is craving silence. And eventually you begin to resent the very people you're trying to love, because love that costs you your peace is not love, it's self-abandonment. Real love is balanced. Real love makes space for rest. Real love is showing up not from depletion, but from overflow. And the only way to love fully is to protect yourself from being consumed. Because if you are empty, your presence is no longer a gift. It's a ghost of who you once were. So ask yourself, are you giving out of love? Or are you giving out of fear? Fear of being left out, fear of disappointing, fear of losing connection. If your yes is fueled by fear instead of choice, then it's not love, it's depletion, and you deserve more than that. When people hear the word boundaries, they often imagine shutting others out, building brick walls, and locking the gates so no one can enter. But boundaries are not about isolation. Boundaries are about direction. They are not walls, they're doors. A wall is meant to keep everyone out. A door, on the other hand, teaches people how to enter respectfully. Boundaries are your way of saying, this is how I need to be treated. This is how you may come into my life. This is where I end and where you begin. The truth is, without boundaries, your peace will always be at the mercy of other people's chaos. Think about it. When you don't set limits, you give others silent permission to drain you, overstep you, and misuse your time. Not because they're all bad people, but because you never showed them how to honor you. Boundaries are the rules of engagement in healthy relationships. Without them, resentment builds like a slow poison. You start to feel taken advantage of even though you never said no. You feel invisible even though you never asked to be seen differently. You feel exhausted even though you never made your limits known. And here's the most important part. Boundaries are not selfish. They are sacred. They are an act of love, not just for you, but for the people in your life. Because when you set a boundary, you teach others the truth. I want you in my life, but not at the expense of my peace. I love you, but I will not abandon myself to prove it. Boundary. It is don't push away the right people. They filter them. The ones who truly respect you won't run when you set a limit. They'll adjust because they value you. The ones who get angry at your boundaries are... We live in a culture that worships busyness. People wear exhaustion like a badge of honor. You hear it all the time. I'm so busy I barely slept, or I've been running around nonstop. And it's said with pride, as if the more drained we are, the more valuable we must be. But let's be honest, busyness is not proof of worthiness. Constant availability, constant running, constant saying yes is not a sign of importance. It is often a sign of disconnection, from ourselves, from our limits, from what truly matters. Somewhere along the way, we tied our value to productivity. We started believing if I'm not doing something, I'm not enough. If I slow down, I'm falling behind. If I say no, I'll lose my place in someone's life or in the world. And so we keep moving, keep overcommitting, keep running until our bodies break down and our hearts feel empty. But here's the truth. Exhaustion is not the evidence of your worth. It is the evidence of your neglect. When you fill every moment with tasks and every hour with commitments, you leave no room for yourself. You become a stranger in your own life. Think about it. Have you ever noticed that the people who truly inspire peace, wisdom, and strength are not the ones who are constantly rushing? They're not the ones with back-to-back obligations and phones buzzing endlessly. They are the ones who know how to pause. They are the ones who know when to step back, when to rest, when to simply be. Your worth has never been tied to how much you can carry. It has never been measured by the number of people you can please in a single day. Your worth is in who you are, not how much you do. Busyness can be a mask. It keeps you distracted from your own emptiness. It keeps you from facing the truth that maybe you're afraid to slow down because silence feels uncomfortable. But slowing down is not weakness, it's wisdom. Rest is not laziness, it's as necessary. Choosing peace over performance is not failure, it's freedom. So I invite you to ask yourself, am I busy because I'm living fully, or am I busy because I'm afraid of what happens if I stop? Because the truth is, your value isn't proven by how hard you work yourself into the ground. Your value is proven simply by your existence, by being here, being alive, being you. And when you finally stop mistaking busyness for worthiness, you free yourself to live, not just to perform. Protecting your peace sounds simple in words, but in practice, it is one of the bravest acts you will ever take, because peace does not protect itself. You have to fight for it, guard it, and sometimes lose people along the way to preserve it. It takes courage to say, I cannot be everything for everyone. It takes courage to step back when the world has conditioned you to step forward every time someone calls. And it takes courage to choose silence, stillness, and distance in a culture that glorifies noise, speed, and constant connection. Here's the thing, when you decide to protect your peace, not everyone will clap for you. Some will call you selfish, some will accuse you of changing, others will try to guilt you into going back to your old patterns of overgiving, over-explaining, overdoing. And in those moments, courage is what keeps you standing. Courage is saying no even with shaky hands. Courage is walking away from drama that once consumed you, even if people whisper about your absence. Courage is letting go of relationships that thrive on your exhaustion instead of your joy. And courage is not loud. Sometimes courage is quiet. It's the moment you don't answer a call because your heart needs rest. It's the moment you close your laptop and refuse to be available to the world after hours. It's the deep breath you take before saying, this doesn't work for me anymore. Protecting your peace doesn't mean you don't love people. It means you love yourself enough to recognize that you cannot pour from an empty cup. It means you understand that constant sacrifice will If I told you that every day you wake up with a set amount of money in your account, you'd probably track every dollar, you'd budget, you'd make choices carefully, asking yourself, is this worth the investment? Will this bring me a return? But here's the thing, your energy works the exact same way. Every morning you wake up with a limited amount of it. Your mental focus, your emotional strength, your physical stamina, all of it is currency. And how you spend it determines not only the outcome of your day, but the overall quality of your life. The problem is most of us give it away carelessly. We spend our energy on people who drain us, on conversations that go nowhere, on commitments we don't even want to keep. We hand it out like we have an endless supply, and then by nightfall we're overdrawn, exhausted, bitter, running on fumes. Think about it. Every yes you give is a withdrawal. Every time you take on someone else's problem as your own, that's a debit. Every time you allow drama into your life, you're paying a fee that robs you of joy. And here's the hard truth. When you keep spending your energy on things that don't serve you, you'll have nothing left for the things that do. But when you start treating your energy like currency, everything shifts. You begin to ask, is this worth my time? Does this align with my peace? Will this choice nourish me or deplete me? Suddenly you become more intentional. You no longer say yes automatically. You stop pouring into people who never pour back. You stop giving discounts to those who constantly undervalue your worth. Here's a truth that may sting. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. Some people only come around to withdraw, never to deposit. Some conversations only serve to stir chaos, not to bring clarity. Some environments will always leave you broke, no matter how much you give. And just like with money, you need to invest your energy where there's growth. Give it to relationships that fill you with laughter, not resentment. Give it to dreams that stretch you, not distractions that shrink you. Give it to practices that ground you, like rest, creativity, and connection, not to endless obligations that leave you empty. Your energy is your most valuable resource. Protect it the way you'd protect your home, your health, your bank account. Because when you learn to spend it wisely, you stop living in emotional debt. You start living in overflow. And the beauty is this. When you choose wisely, your energy multiplies, peace grows, joy expands, love deepens. That is the true return on investment. One of the hardest lessons to learn in life is this. Not everyone deserves access to you. Your time, your heart, your presence, they are treasures. And treasures are not meant to be scattered on the ground for anyone to pick up. Here's the mistake many of us make. We confuse kindness with availability. We believe that if someone knocks, we must open the door. If someone calls, we must answer. If someone wants our attention, we must give it. But that is not love. That is surrendering your sacred space. The truth is, not everyone who wants access to you has earned it. Some people only come into your life to take. They take your time, your energy, your confidence, your peace. They show up when they need something, but they disappear when you're the one in need. These are not relationships. They are transactions. And when you let those transactions pile up, you're left bankrupt in your own life. Think about your phone for a moment. You have passwords, you have locks. You don't let just anyone scroll through your messages or access your accounts. Why? Because that information is personal, private, valuable. Yet many of us guard our phones more carefully than we guard our hearts. We let people into our lives without filters, without boundaries, without asking, do they deserve to be here? Let me say this clearly. Limiting access is not cruelty, it's clarity. When you set limits on For so many of us, the word no feels heavy. It feels like rejection, like failure, like we're letting someone down. Somewhere along the way, we were taught that no makes us difficult, selfish, or unkind, and so we swallow it. We say yes when our hearts whisper no. We agree when every part of us aches to decline. But here's the truth. Every time you say yes to something that drains you, you are saying no to yourself. And when you say no to yourself long enough, you start to disappear. Your needs get silenced. Your joy gets postponed. Your soul gets buried under the weight of everyone else's expectations. No is not selfish, it's sacred. No is a sentence of self-protection. No is a declaration that your life has limits, that your energy has value, and that your worth does not come from pleasing everyone around you. Think about this. When you say no, you are not rejecting the person, you are respecting yourself. You are honoring your peace, your body, your time. You are choosing to give from a place of overflow instead of obligation. That's not cruelty, that's wisdom. And here's something important. The people who truly value you will not be destroyed by your no. They may be surprised at first, especially if they're used to your endless yes, but they will adjust. They will learn to respect the new version of you that refuses to live on empty. The ones who cannot handle your no, they were never valuing you. They were valuing your compliance. And when compliance disappears, so does their investment. That is not a loss. That is a revelation. Saying no opens the door to freedom. It gives you back your time, your health, your joy. It creates space for the things that matter most, your healing, your passions, your peace. And it teaches the world something powerful, that you are not an endless resource to be consumed. You are a human being who chooses where to place your heart. Let me say this clearly. No is not a weapon. It's a shield. It doesn't push away love. It protects it. It doesn't destroy relationships. It refines them, because only the relationships built on true respect can survive a healthy no. So practice it. Say no without apology. Say no without over-explaining. Say no because your well-being matters, because your peace matters, because you matter. And every time you do, remind yourself, this is not rejection, it's self-love. We live in a world that demands explanation. If you pull back, people ask why. If you don't respond right away, they assume you're upset. If you choose rest,